All right, I don't know, what was I talking about? Cardboard boxes, you can put a lot of stuff in them. It's pretty exciting. You can put your fabric in them, you can put your patterns in them, you can put your pins in them.
If you're me, you can put your dog in them.
Yeah, I mean, see, you can put almost everything goes in boxes.
Today, I'm super excited to take you to meet a good friend of mine, Katie Petzl. She is a professional sewer and pattern maker who works in New York City. She also teaches at Workroom Social. Today, we're gonna go visit her personal home studio and see what it's like to sew with a professional sewist. It's a little chilly outside, so we're getting dressed and we're gonna take off. I got my hat on, I'm ready. Let's get moving. Katie lives right on the border of Bed-Stuy and Bushwick in Brooklyn, not too far from my house. So we're gonna walk over and I'm gonna give you a little tour of our neighborhood in Brooklyn. Get ready.
Hey guys, come on into my sewing studio. This is where the magic happens. These are my books. I've got my pattern making guys over here, and then the general sewing techniques section, and then these are my favorite sewing technique books. The Singer series from the 80s is the best thing ever. I want to show you one because their manicures in these are so incredible. I can't get over them. Look at how perfect her fingernails are. And like there's this color of taupe that I swear is nowhere else but in this book. This is a little, I don't know if this has a name, but this is from Madeira. Yay! So that's obviously sewing related. This was my favorite book of the moment. Jennifer and I have been both very excited about pants fitting, so this is totally our jam right now. It also has skirts. It's sort of a bottom half book, but the magic is somewhere. Ah, here we go, guys. The wrinkle chart. So you can just browse through here and find your best friends and hopefully figure out what to do with them. Next to my books is my sewing table. I've got a serger and my sewing machine here and my oregano plant because it's the natural place to keep oregano in a house. And I've got a couple cork boards that I just pin random stuff to. Sort of an inspiration board, also just kind of getting random stuff off the table. Yeah, and fun little, these are my souvenirs from camp, Workroom Social, and some pictures of some sewing buddies. Oh, this is my babushka. She makes sure I don't do anything foolish. This is my work in progress right now. It's gonna have some bias around the neck and some little buttons and some big puffy sleeves, but it's a style I've been seeing on the runway quite a bit, so it was sort of fun to figure out how they did it. And then underneath is my infamous dress form. No, I mean, I feel like her hip to waist ratio is something. She's just not quite my shape, but she is adjustable in theory. When you're draping, you're supposed to start at the center front and the center back. Unfortunately, I can't stick any pins in there because there's big seams, so she's not as functional as I had originally hoped, but that's how you learn. So she's good for holding the project that I'm working on. She's moved around to a couple states with me, so she deserves some respect. So over here is my cutting table. I've pushed 2 IKEA tables together so that I can spread out a full 45 width fabric and cut it flat. There's a lot of projects like knits and stuff that I like to cut flat rather than cut on the fold, but that's just a personal preference. It's actually not quite 45 inches, but it's close enough. It's like only 2 inches short, so, you know. You can see that I just sort of leave stuff and shut the door. This was the knit top that I was working on before. So I'll have to put that in an envelope so I can start working on the next thing. Okay, I've got a really sophisticated organizational system, which is a clothes hamper with stuff in it. Recently, I've been making my own patterns because it's a fun, I don't know, because I like to do it. I mean, I'm a pattern maker, so I think that makes sense. But if you dig really deep, you can find my vintage patterns like this one. It's a jumpsuit with a big bow. How fun is that? I don't know. I haven't looked down in the bowels of this for a while, so I don't know if there's anything. What's on top? Yeah, if anybody offers me patterns, I pretty much always take them. So I think this was donated to me. I can't remember by who, but classic. This is another amazing form of organization in which I have all my muslin fabric. Or sometimes I inherit scraps from work or out in hallways. And if I don't think they're gonna work for a project, I save them here so at least they become a toile. This is a Falcon tube box. If you're a scientist, you'll know what that means. These are all boxes that came with us from Boston. So high class, I've kept them. Amazing storage. There's also a printer down there because, yeah, why not? And then this is the closet of doom. I don't know if you guys need to see this or not, but here you go. This is actually a very clean closet of doom. Yay!
It doesn't look so doomy.
No, it used, when I was a student, it was just like a pile that would, you know. No, I've gone through it, but I've got the stash in here and some comforters, some gardening supplies, Halloween costumes, Christmas ornaments. Thanks for coming and seeing my space. I think we're just gonna leave and shut the door now because that's one of my favorite parts about this space, because sewing's a mess and we all know that.
I cannot believe how lucky Katie is having that whole room just to herself for sewing. Well, I guess it's not totally just for herself. It also doubles as her guest bedroom, but still the luxury. One of my favorite things about Katie's space is how minimal it is. For being a professional sewer and pattern maker, you know, there's nothing really that fancy about Katie's sewing space. She has one machine, one serger, and a minimal amount of tools. Nothing too fancy, nothing too expensive, and she is able to create some of the most amazing things. Katie reminds us all that there's nothing wrong with using a couple of cardboard boxes for storage. You know, whatever gets the job done. Now, I want to show everyone how we can all create equally amazing things in lots of different kinds of environments. If you love your sewing space, no matter how big, how small, how organized, or how messy, no matter how big or small your fabric stash is, leave a comment below and tell me that you want me to come visit you to show off your sewing space. Thanks so much for watching our first episode of Sewing Spaces. I'm really excited to bring you more, and we will see you next time. Bye.